Assalamualaikum students. Acha, here is a question that I'll be discussing that was inquired by one of you. This question is about plotting a bar graph. The table that is given includes these values. So first of all, you're given light intensity in arbitrary units, and there are 3 light intensity categories, and on these 3 light intensity categories, average leaf area is given for 2 species. So basically it's a comparison of 2 species, species A and B, and therefore this is the leaf area that is shown by both species on each of these light intensities. Okay, so the very first thing that you need to do when you are supposed to make a graph is again label the axis. This is going to be your x-axis, this is going to be your y-axis. Okay, now first you need to decide which one is going to be on the x-axis, which of these values is the independent variable that is going to come on the x-axis. Independent variable is the one that you have decided for yourself and you won't change, that you have set. So obviously these are the set light intensities on which you have performed this evaluation. Okay, so light intensity is going to be on the x-axis. So the very first thing you do is label the axis with the proper unit that would be given in the table. The leaf surface area is going to be here with the unit that would be mentioned here in the table. That would be millimeter square, power square, right? So you've mentioned that. Now what you need to see, you need to set the scale. Now obviously on the x-axis, this is what you need to have in your scale. There are only 3 values. So this kind of data is called as discontinuous data. Remember, if I will have values that would have a range of something, let's see if I have to plot heights, so that would be a range of heights, right? But here we're just given 3 of these values, and the comparisons for the 2 species are only for each of these values. So this is the discontinuous data that we have here. We'll have only these 3 categories, so we need to plot it as a bar graph as it's inquired in the question as well. So you just need to select equal spaces, and then 3 of these values need to be mentioned on the x-axis. So what you will do is you can simply, first of all, the gap that you're going to give before you start the first bar should be 5. This is good enough, 5 boxes. Here is where you can write 10. Okay, now this 10 that you have written, you can decide what space will be. You'll have to now plot 2 bars for this one and this one, right? So how much wider do you want each of your bar to be? Now if you want your bar to be 5 boxes each, you can simply select 2, 3, 4, 5 bars. This is going to be for the first species A, and another 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is going to be for the other species. Now this 10 obviously will not be written here, you will be writing it here in the center. Here will be the 2 bars that you will make. Then you have to leave exactly same space that you have left here between the next category that you have, that is for 50 arbitrary units. So let's say if you want to, it could be any space that you would like. So if it's depending on your scale, 3, 4, 5, let's say 5. So let this be 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be my next value space, 50. Then again I will leave a space of 5 boxes, and then this is going to be my third one. So you can increase the space. Coming to scaling the y-axis, what you need to see is the lowest value that you have here. So 2800 is the lowest value that you have here, and the highest plot that you would have to show would be 6500. So I can make my scale accordingly. How about I go to 2000, 4000 and 6000 here. This is a smaller chart that I have. So usually the charts that you give in paper are longer than this one. So you can in that case easily take the values as 1000, 2000, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you still have to, you should be careful about the highest value that you'll have to plot. So here now what we are going to do is the comparative values that you have, these 2 bars are always shown together. Okay, so this is going to be the space that you leave between the different categories. This space, this should be equal, whereas the bars that you will make will have no space in between, they will be side to side. So the that you'll have to plot is at 10 arbitrary unit is 6500. So you'll very quickly go check with your scale. Value for 10 arbitrary unit for species B is 2900. You can simply go check. This is going to be 2000. The very mid of this is going to be 3000, so 2900 is somewhere here. So you simply plot a bar graph here. Now you will leave this space. So next one is for 50 arbitrary unit for species A is 3900. So you can see how these bars are drawn side to side. Okay. Okay, then the third values. Third values are again 100, 3600 and 2800. That I have for you. This is how your bar graph will look like. I'm just shading it. Alright students, and another part of the question was calculate the percentage difference in average leaf area for species A, percentage difference from a light intensity of 50 to 10 arbitrary units. Okay, so now coming to the graph, let's see, from 50 to 10 you have to find out the percentage difference in this value for species A. So you can see when you are changing from 50 arbitrary unit to 10 arbitrary unit, what is happening to the value of the leaf area. You can see that it has increased from 3900 to 6500. So for an increase, you need to find out percentage. So we know the formula for percentage increase, which is going to be final minus initial over initial multiplied by 100. So how will you be calculating this? Simply 6500 minus initial, which is 3900, over initial, which is 3900, multiplied by 100. Whatever value is going to be there is going to be your answer. So this was the entire question.